Okay, I was gonna show off the mod I've been working on for 3 weeks now. I've been going back and forth with both Chat GPT o3 and recently in Google Studio AI with Gemini to generate some C# code that would pull data from the game and give it to us in a useful way. So the game isn't great at it, but through brute force and trial and error, I got it to report back some of the information and parse that information into what I think is a fun little mod. So the mod's main intent is just to show you the basics of what you're actually doing in a damage perspective. I started it out wanting to know how my bow actually worked. Rude. The bow does different amounts of damage depending on how much you pull it back, like how long you let the draw strength work. Okay, let's see what we know about the bow. Biker, don't be a jerk. Come here. So full strength bow shot. I think that was a face shot. Jerk, don't be a jerk, I said. Okay, so 82 if you pull it back all the way. Or just, you gotta hit them for it to work. Okay, just a quick actual tap shot there is only 14. So yeah, that's kind of what I expected. 82 damage, and then you gotta hit him yet again. Oh, crap. And body shot will be only 4 because of the insane modifier. Okay, so yeah, I guess the original purpose of the mod shows some of that at least. Okay, too fast. Butler. Butler, tell me about half draw strength, please. No, I said please though. Okay, half draw strength is 45. Full draw strength is 82. And it's body shot. And 9 on a tap body shot or headshot. Interesting. Okay, let's get into this. The mod, just based on timing of when damage is reported, knows when to group certain damages together. So if I take a shotgun and I shoot my friendo here, you can see it displays multiple pellets there on the bottom line. 57 total damage, 1 pellet for 5 damage, and 4 pellets for 13 damage. One of those 13s actually killed Bowler. That's why there's a skull icon, and it actually did more damage than was 100% necessary to kill him by 8. So it actually shows there are 8 overkill damage. So if you actually do like a headshot on it, all 10 pellets hit Bowler in the head, each of them doing 34 damage. If we do body shot, you can see you get a dramatically less amounts of damage per pellet. It will show you my favorite. It will show you crits as well. So when the numbers are red, that's a critical. Criticals oftentimes will be a decap, and a decap will report back as much health as the zombie had. So a decap on a biker would be dramatically more than that 151, even though the weapon is incapable of doing that much damage. So it's just displaying the total life of the zombie. Even if the zombie only had like 1 hit point left, it would display the total life. But more than that, well, let's just make them more resilient. That'll work. No, not bad. So, nice thing about a club is when they're knocked down, well, for example, when they die, but a club, when you knock something down, does more damage when they're stunned, is the tag of the game. So 64, so there it is. 194 is the bonus damage you get with the club when they're knocked down. Okay, that was rude. Another nice little feature here is it calculates not only the burst damage from a shotgun, but if you fire fast enough on a rapid fire weapon like a M60 here or the SMG, you'll actually group them together as one attack almost to kind of show you what it was doing. It's a tricky one because it doesn't always work if you miss a shot, but basically you can see that all of those pellet shots got pushed into one damage report here. She died apparently on the second shot according to what's happening here. The rest of the shots are actually intentionally ignored so that I don't improperly calculate DPS against corpses and whatnot. My favorite thing in the game is mollies. Well, one of my favorite things. So if you get a good Molotov, you can have this beautiful little report here where the Molotov counter will add up the total damage of the Molotov. So you can see genuinely how efficient it is. One little Molotov does 4,000 damage. The damage reporting is relatively complicated in that it will never show you more than 5 numbers distinct points of damage that are part of one group. You can see that there's the approximate sign on some of those damage reports, like looks like an equal sign. That means that the mod is actually grouping similar numbers together. I'm trying to keep it so that it doesn't take up too much real estate on the screen. Like I said, Molotovs are my favorite. So I actually dedicate 2 lines of the mod to Molotovs, just so that you can throw one Molotov, and once that Molotov's duration has expired, enjoy your next Molotov throw and actually know what your previous one was doing. The extra stats. There are Molotovs, which I'm considering an extra stat, and there's actually a robotic drone calculation as well, or the turrets. They disappear after a set number of seconds of not activating damage ticks. So you can see now the Molotov lines are completely gone. Let's look at this wonderful little addition. So similar to Molotovs, except for it doesn't have a dedicated line, are explosions. It's a timing thing yet again. If the mod detects damage almost instantaneous like this, it will try to group them into one line. So that last line there says if it did a total of 4,600 damage, it hit 35 zombies, the V35 there, and it has broken down the damage is in what it thinks is the most helpful way. So the approximate signs there means that those are not the actual damage numbers that occurred, but they are numbers that have been summed together to give you a good idea of the relative damage or the approximate damage. And then the last little bit of that means that there was death that happened from some of the zombies. Only hit 8 that time. That's actually not a bad thing to point out, is the standard hit with an overkill. Arlene, don't want to pop your head. Okay, critical, well, I guess headshot means critical. Perfect, that'll work. So in that encounter, the first hit did 126 damage, headshot. The second one only needed 16 damage to actually kill her. And there was 110 damage over that amount that the weapon actually did. I've not spoken too much about the DPS counter, but it tries to keep track of what's going on during the combat. It's okay. It might be improved in further iterations. Okay, DN box command inside the console will report back the position and allow you to change the positioning of the mod itself. So the default on the screen would be in DN box 0 space 0. That will place it directly in the center top of the screen. DN box 600 0 will move it to the right side of the map, 600 pixels, and down none because of the 0. Bo, would you please allow my numbers to come back? So default for me, and I believe when you download the mod, will be DN box 400 to the right and minus 100 pixels down. So, but if you need to move it, that will let you position it anywhere on the screen. So DN log inside the console will turn on verbose logging, and you get a kind of ridiculous amount of information. This is actually not the raw data from the game, but the mod's interpretation of it and how it's using it in its calculation. If you've ever wanted to see what the individual weapons that you're using are actually doing, we've written a little mod that tells you just how effective certain things are between the Molotovs that you throw or the grenades that you shove towards the zombies. You can also track shotgun blast and individual shots, tracking the individual damage that the pellets do. Or you can rapid fire and keep track of somewhat the actual damage you're doing. Have fun with it.